Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Mina Kunlo-Sitep, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my Merry Christmas co-host.
Ho, ho, ho. Hello, Jacqueline.
Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy anything and
Feliz
everything.
Navidad.
Merry and happy everything is what we say in our holiday cards to all of you. And thank you for listening to the podcast this week, because we are airing this in the time like Christmas week.
Christmas-ish, right? So thank you for spending the time with us. It has come so quickly, and pretty soon we'll be heading into the new year and the holiday will be a bit over. So we wanted to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah. So what we wanted to go through with you today is, now that the holidays are over, Christmas gifts have been given, and after Christmas sales are happening, what do you do next with your product-based business? Right?
Right. 100%. I mean, our minds are probably bogged down from turkey and, cheesecakes,
and eggnog and ham and all the things and all the paper that people have unwrapped. But we hope it was a successful season for you all. We've been working with you this entire last quarter of the year from Rock Your Holiday Promotions Challenge, where we helped set you up for your holiday sales. We've gotten amazing feedback from some of you that you have skyrocketed your sales in those times. And then it was about surviving the holidays and to make sales and to keep it going and hopefully growing your email list and all the things. And now that we're at the end of the year and we're moving into 2020, how do you keep selling? What do you do next? And this is the time of year that we call the halo period.
right.
But first, I just want to remind you all that applications are open to the Product Boss Masterminds and to get in on Dash Insiders Accelerator program. We have a super sweet deal for Dash Insiders Accelerator for right now. It is $7 for your first month. It's a quarterly program, and that's for those of you you have product in hand to $50,000 a year. And then for those of you, if there's some spots still available for you in the Product Boss Masterminds, the Climb, which is $50,000 to $250,000 a year in revenue, and the Top, which is $250,000 or more for those masterminds. So head over to theproductboss.com/programs to sign up and grab your spots.
And make 2020 super phenomenal. And use these strategies that we'll be talking about in this podcast episode. So the halo effect. So the halo effect is after holiday sales. And that is because people are still in buying mode, right? We were just talking a minute ago about how holidays are over, but I bet you guys are not out of buying mode, right? I bet you guys are still feeling those wallets burning a hole in your pocket. So there's a shift that happens during that halo effect where people start buying for themselves versus buying for other people. And it's wonderful and it feels so fresh and new. It's the new year. And then it becomes part of the whole, in nowadays it's like treat yourself, but really it's always been there, right? We've always felt the need to new year, new you, new whatever, new wardrobe, new iPhone, new anything, right?
Yeah, it's just from that season of giving to that season of taking care of yourself. And so you'll see that treat yourself, that's going to pop up a lot more in marketing. You'll see that show up. It has, like Mina said, been showing up on join a gym, start eating healthier, get this food delivered to your house, buy these workout clothes because you're going to join a gym. So it has been about refocusing on yourself and kind of moving out. People are not spending all their money on gifts for others, but now they are kind of treating themselves. So this halo period, but at the same time, they have also been shopping more than they ever have the entire rest of the year. So they have been more aware of your products. They've seen you show up more for them on social media or in their inboxes or at locations. You've been in the forefront of their mind. They have been in that buying season. And so there is this halo period that they have like this really good feeling about you, right? If you've been showing up for them, they have a sweet feeling. If they've bought from you and you shipped on time and you delighted or excited someone they gifted to, they have a great feeling about you, your product, your brand. And we want that to keep going. So now that the holidays are over, what do you do next? And we have 4 secrets for you.
Right. And so just think about this for January, because January is that halo effect, right? A lot of people have spectacular sales in January, right? It's not like a dip after the holidays, it still keeps on going. So, number one thing that you need to be doing to do what to do next is just to keep showing up. Do not ghost your customers just because the holidays are over and you're drunk off of eggnog.
Don't go dark.
Yeah, do not go dark. Keep showing up for them. This is the time to do it. It feels magical after the new year because it's so new and people are wanting to like debut their new version of themselves, right? The life they imagine. The year is just so grand. There's 365 days left for them to do something spectacular with their lives.
Even for you guys, like the beginning, that very, very beginning of the new year, it's like all the potential that this year can bring, right? It's like the rebirth, the renewal of, wow, this year can be anything you want it to be. And so when we want you to keep showing up, whatever you've been doing that has been working, keep doing that. If you now have a resolution to do something else, like I'm going to show up live more, I'm going to make more videos, I'm going to start sending weekly emails, we want you to start doing that. But you, no matter what, keep showing up, keep being in front of them. There will be dips in the business. There will be dips in sales. There will be your high seasons and your low seasons. But right now in January, keep that momentum going.
Yeah, show up on wherever you were blowing up, right? As Jasmine Star said, you just heard that episode last week, and it's show up till you blow up. So now that you figured out where your customers are they on Instagram? Keep showing up there. Are they on Facebook? Keep showing up there. Were they on in-person trade shows? If you can, keep showing up there, right? If there's no more trade shows, show up in their email. Just don't go dark on them. Show up and be circling them still. Circle them, let them know you're there, offer them deals. Do not go dark.
And so then we're going to jump into the next one, which is what you can kind of talk about when you're showing up. So we want you to get into the new year hype. So I consult a lot of people that are making activewear brands. Like I've done so many activewear brands, and the best season for activewear, is January, because guess what? Everybody's joining gyms and they need the cute clothes to get their motivation for being healthier that year. What can you do that gets into the new year hype? Do you sell something that has to do with that beginning of the new year, like resolutions? Is there something around that you sell? And if it's not, then what's new about that year? Like, is it that we've transitioned out of Christmas and New Year's and we're moving into maybe like a different scent for your product? But what is the new year hype? Where can you bring it back to your business?
Right. And an easy way to do this is to think about where the head of your customer is, right? What are they thinking about? So if you have a skincare line, what is your customer thinking about right now? Are they thinking about, having fresh skin? Or what if it's a candle line, right? It probably has to do with scents. What if it is a granola line? It could be getting more active. There's lots of ways to talk around what you sell. And oftentimes it doesn't matter unless that's what your customer is thinking about.
Yeah, it could be even about the winter weather. It could be about surviving the cold. Your hands are chapped, your nose is red. Flu season. It could be about kids finally going back to school after the holiday break. It could be how to transition between being in that holiday mood to getting back to yourself. So it could be, now that you've given all your gifts, we want to send you a gift. And so that's like a discount or something like that. But whatever it is, you want to get into that hype. And you guys, this is a really cool year because it's 2020. So it's the beginning of a decade. It's the beginning of like this really cool 2020 number. Like, not since the year 2000 have I felt like there's been like this hype around the year. And
You know why? I like 2020. I saw this one meme that I thought was so profound. It was like 2020. No. Hindsight is 2020.
Oh.
So this is the year people are looking back and they're making the decade amazing, you know?
And it's
So,
such like a rounded number. It's just
mhm.
like, it's been a while since we've had like a number like this.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
2010 wasn't like, like, okay, it's 2010, but 2020, wow, we've like made it this far.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 3 is, okay, how do you keep those sales going? Sell to those people who have already bought from you, friends. Sell to the customers you already have.
And now that you've gone through all the trade shows and that you've shown up and probably done some giveaways, or you probably have a fresh batch of names on your email list, sell to those people, right? Because they are new to you and they may not have bought yet, but if they've already bought from you, even better, even easier. So just keep selling to them and get some fresh promotions for them.
Yeah, you could like retarget people who have bought, right?
Mhm.
And you could retarget to them and say like, hey, I know you were here at Christmas and you bought stuff. How hope you like it. Here's a special treat to you. We're going to throw in a free gift for being a loyal customer, and it could be something that's like past holiday that you weren't able to sell through. Treat them, show up for them, and retarget those people that have bought from you or that have given, and even if they haven't bought from you, like Mina said, if they've given you their email address, they've opted in for a sale, maybe they opted into a 12 days of Christmas deal, target them again and keep selling to them.
Yes. And last but not least, number 4 is think about having sales on new or different products because your customer's mood has changed. I know that seems odd to think about, but it's a significant change that happens from Christmas to the new year, right? They are focusing on themselves. They're not even, it's like they have this fresh, clean plate that is definitely not overloaded, right? During the holidays, we're so overloaded. We always say that saying of, my plate is so full, my plate is so full, my cup runneth over too, right? But come the new year, their whole mind shifts and they're just like, feel liberated and free. And they're like, okay, I got through the holidays and this is a new year and I can set the precedent for what the decade is going to look like.
Yeah. So thinking about the time, I mean, you guys, if you're listening to this in real time, it's still warm and jolly. They're still, cozy on the couch, Christmas lights. It's all that coziness. Actually, I actually hate right after New Year's because it kind of like turns it off so automatically and you like have to pull your tree down and you have to like get to work. Sometimes that I want this mood
It's
to
a
last.
jolt, right?
It's such a jolt. You kind of want it to last longer, but everyone goes through that jolt because everything shifts, right? Christmas lights come down, trees come down, you get active. You're not supposed to be like cozy on the couch with hot cocoa. You're supposed to be at the gym and comfortably working out. So that mood is changing in the way of you're not selling them warm, spiced anymore. Now you're selling them something motivational, inspirational, or seasonal. So in January, we start to transition and start to see things coming that are like spring. You guys are going to see Valentine's Day immediately.
Yeah. And once Valentine's Day is over, you better bet it's, gosh, what's that green
Easter?
one? No, Easter. And
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. I was like, I can envision 4-leaf clovers. I have no idea what it's called.
Whatever they change the cards at Target or like that front section, whatever that decor is, like that's where they're moving people's brains.
Right. Oh my gosh. And it's soon, like
it's so
right
quick.
after Valentine's Day.
We'll probably see it as of New Year's, like the 2nd or the 3rd. Let's see the quickest we can see when we start to see Valentine's Day pop up. So you're moving into that new mood. You're moving into that, either that new year, new you, or even like, how can you start pre-selling them to get them into Valentine's Day? And the reason why Valentine's Day is there is to get people to buy more things. Like,
right.
This is what generates commerce. These holidays, we don't need to buy things for St. Patrick's Day. We do not need, Valentine's Day was just another way to get people to buy gifts for people after the holidays.
Right. But when you think about it too, like Instagram really fueled those like holidays that didn't matter as much, like St. Patrick's Day. People are dressing up and posting themselves on Instagram with their kids matching and all
Custom
wearing
tees.
green. Yeah. And so I think that there is something to sell all the time on these special holidays, especially if you can wrap your product around it. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up, really reinforcing that the mood has changed, is because people buy off emotion, right? And so what did Melina Palmer say? It was like 99.9% or something was your emotional trigger. That was what caused you to buy. And then you justify it with the rationale, right? And so when your mood changes, when your emotions change, if you understand that for your customer, you'll be able to tap into that better, right? They don't want to hear about, they want to hear about things that are like fresh and new and the new year, and then the love is in the air for the holiday, or wearing green and being Irish and kiss me if you're Irish. Like there's so many things that you can hype up that there's lots of times where there's a trigger internally that we don't even understand for ourselves, right? But we're like, I need that. I want that green lipstick, or I want that green wig, or I want this for, bracelet for Valentine's Day. And
or I want to drink some beer and go hang out with some friends.
Right. And then, or the new year, it's like, I want to get organized, or I want to beat the winter blues, or I want to wear these snow boots or whatever, So I think that all is emotional. And if you can ride the tide of the emotions of your ideal customer, it'll be easier to sell to them when promotions come around.
So lean into this. So you've got the hype. When people are not necessarily expecting sales from you, you can be doing your after Christmas sale. You can be doing, your sale can run into the new year on getting rid of products that are no longer applicable to this time of year, certain scents and decorations and things like that. But post this, the way that you hype yourself up, right? You keep showing up, you create your own hype. This is the new thing. We have a new candle scent out. This is the most awesome candle scent you've ever heard. Or we have a new jewelry collection out. Or we have these new tumblers or new stationery, whatever you're making. That's why clothing, apparel, we have collections. That's why seasonal collections, because if it's like The Devil Wears Prada. Mm-hmm. You think that blue is because you made that choice, but in fact, cerulean blue was blah, 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 right? It trickled down
2019.
To you. No. But it's that idea of like, they sell you flats this year because they were selling you spikes last year. They need you to keep purchasing. And you guys have to kind of create that same process for your customers, where it's like, this was that then, and this is now. And now this is something new for you to buy because this is the thing right now.
And I want to reiterate how cool 2020 is. You could do 20 tips. You could do 20% off. It's built in 20% off for 20 items, 20 features, 20 brand ambassadors. There's just so many ways for you guys to get creative because there's a hype, especially around this particular year and the fresh decade. We won't get this fresh decade for another decade, and then it will be 2030, and that's pretty boring.
I don't know if it's 2030, 2040, 2050. I mean, you and I don't know if we're going to be...
We will be old ladies podcasting to you guys.
I mean, I don't know what the next date, like the next big thing that's going to feel like this. So
it's exciting.
It is exciting, and the world's exciting right now, and people have money and people are employed, and there's just like, people are willing to spend money. So friends, take advantage right now of the economy. And
yes, they want to support small business too. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. It's just a supportive time as well. So let's keep it going. Thank you for being here with us. Merry, happy everything to you, your family, your employees. We're wishing you nothing but the best in 2020 and the new decade. And if you are interested in working with us, we would love to work with you and invite you to either apply to the Product Boss Masterminds or to grab your spot in the Dash Insiders Accelerator program. And you can find all of that at theproductboss.com/programs.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in there. This episode is over, but it doesn't have to end. Head over to our Facebook group, search for the Product Boss Biz Community, or the link is also in the show notes. Come connect with other product bosses just like you. We'll see you in there.
If you love the Product Boss podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, share, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time, Product Bosses, let's make it happen.